Yeah, good afternoon, class. This is Dr. Knoll, and we're going to kind of go over the last real major assignment we have for week 7. There is one last self-assessment in week 7 that you'll need to take. That's at the top of this page, but there is no discussions this week. So the big part of this week is the big push this week is going to be this individual research paper that everybody will need to complete. And this is kind of a unique paper. It is 7 to 10 pages in length, but you also can take a look at this as the basis of research. So you're going to be doing a lot of case studies we've done 2 already, and you'll be doing a few more as we go through here. Leadership has a couple, other strategy will have a couple, and so we use that pretty extensively, whereas you don't get the opportunity to really dig down into a topic that you might be passionate about or that you may want to learn more about. And that's what the object of this research paper is to really dig down into a topic that you're really looking to possibly learn a lot more about. Now, you get to choose your topic. The topics here, there's 4 categories that we've looked at, which are general concepts, individual, group, and organization. We've looked at all those concepts throughout the course. But now I want you to take a look at and choose one of these topics or another one that fits into these categories that you particularly want to look at. So, some of the topics under the general: creating a diverse workspace, changing cultures, business in the global environment. Then the individual ones are personalities in the workplace, creative employees, ethics, morals. A lot of you guys have touched on a lot of these, kind of pulled some of these into the case studies that we've been doing. All are good, so obviously I can get a sense for some of you that might have some interest in looking at some of these other areas. So the object here is to choose one that you really want to look at, because you want to be able to get something really out of it instead of just cranking out another paper. As we look through here, the big things for this one is this is going to be pretty much a full-scale APA paper. You won't need a title page. You don't need an abstract. If you're using which means you really don't need a table of contents either, but you will need to be able to follow the basic rules, which would be you need to have a heading. The heading has to have your name. You want to have your running header. You want to have you want to have the page numbers in there. The title and the running header are 2 different things. The title of the paper is usually longer, has a little bit more descriptive to it. Running header is just about 3 words or so that you can quickly ascertain what your topic is. Again, using things like double spacing, make sure it's all double spaced. You'll need to indent paragraphs. You'll also need to include in-text citations. So most of you have been doing pretty well with that, and I've been kind of lenient through the case studies on that, but you really do want to make sure that you've got some in-text citations. Making sure that your reference page is alphabetized, and it is in the correct format, which includes things like author's name, the title of the article, what pages, what journal it came out of, or what magazine or what website. Because again, you can use a variety of formats here as you can to secure that research. If you've got a LinkedIn video of Richard Branson, for instance, that has a topic that he's covering that in organizational behavior that applies to you, most certainly use that. And that's something that you can really get. You can do, just need to make sure that you're referencing that in your citations properly, which is title of the video, also what the date is that you pulled it out of. In that case, you would need a web link, kind of seeing where that is, but you don't need web links for a lot of the other things that you're pulling out of Ebesco or one of those other search engines that we have in the library. The format here, kind of give you guys the format. Page 1 basically is going to be executive summary. That's as you can see from the bottom, that's a probably 2-3 paragraph max. giving me a broad stroke of what your topic is, what what the details of the research are going to be. In other words, what you find out in a nutshell. Also, you're going to summarize, kind of give us a quick summary of what's going on with your research, and how this would actually be benefiting you. All of this would really flow right into that first section of the paper. Basically, equate this to what I usually call the 5-minute elevator speech if you're an entrepreneur, or think of it as your Shark Tank pitch, which is the other thing that I usually refer to, which is that 5 minutes you get in front of the Shark Tank to pitch your idea. That's what the executive summary is for your paper. You're pitching your idea to me or the other reader, and being able to basically ascertain that we want to read the rest of it. Now, page 2, basically it's going to give me kind of the background, why you're interested, what's important to it, what kind of benefits can be getting out of the topic that you're researching. Pages 2 to 4, basically, 1.5 to 2 pages on your research, kind of looking at what those aspects are. So you're going to have somewhere between 2 to 4 pages of those types of things. Somewhere in that 2 to 4 range. So a total of 2 to 4 pages, and that's your research. Relevant experts, business leaders, gurus, companies, any research from articles, from journals. You're going to have should have a bevy of information that you're basically kind of looking at, giving us a good overview of what the research and what everybody else is out there saying about your topic. Then the last part of it is going to be about a page of basically about one page of a summary, recapping your findings, reinforcing your benefits, and then the last few pages are going to be those aspects of which you would basically say it would be your last, which is your resources. I'm saying you're going to probably end up with somewhere in the, you're going to have a minimum of 7, probably no more than 12. And that again depends on the extensive and how extensive the articles you're using. Basically you're going to bring everything together here in one nice little package at the end. Like I said, it's pretty much a straightforward research paper. I will be looking for headers and those types of things, in each one of your paragraph area, and that bulk of there where you're getting pages, from 2 to 5 pages, and the bulk of that, however many it ends up to be, it's going to have to be a minimum of 2, probably more of a maximum of 5 or 6. Those pages there, you're going to want to use some subheaders there to kind of, group your research together. If your topic happens to be in motivational theories, you may want to group together an actual section on the history of motivational theories and how they work. And then your next section subheading might be applications of those motivational theories. That's just an example. But anytime you're switching what you're trying to do, you're going to want to make sure that you switch it into a new heading. And then just avoiding some of those APA errors that we've had in the past, making sure you definitely have those in-text citations and that they're properly cited. Typically in APA style, you're going to want to see the in-text citations are author, comma, date, which would be just the year. So that would be, say if it's the author was John Smith, so it would be Smith, comma, J, comma, 2016, because that was the year of your article. That is a proper APA citation. And then it should refer to that in the back, as well as, and if you're using multiple authors, then it depends on whether it's 2 or 3 or more, as to how you would actually reference those. But those would have to be inside the text. If you have any questions on those types of things, make sure or any other things on the topic, just shoot me an email over the next few days. I'll definitely be in and out of the course over the next few days as I'm finishing up the grading for the week six items, as well as finishing up Five's discussion threads on grading. So be sure to just shoot me an email with any questions you might have, and I hope you find this a little bit helpful. Thank you.